Morning. It's a wonderful day. I hope you guys are up and ready. I know I am always trying to make sure that we can engage and get going. Good morning, Lynn. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Maria. Good morning, Central. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining. Go ahead and like and share. Good morning, Denny. Thank you for joining us this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Go ahead, like and share as we get started. Once we have a few more people on, we'll go ahead and get this thing going. So y'all see that our topic this morning is the fire. So yes, we're talking about the fire. Good morning, Kenneth. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Nora, thank you for being on this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Hey, Dee. We missed you on Sunday, sis, but you'll be at the next one. I hope everything went well. We're dropping off that baby, getting him going. Good morning, Michonne. Good morning. Hey, Browder. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's Wednesday, y'all. It's hump day. It's time for us to get this thing going. New day, new opportunity. We are talking about the fire. As you come on, go ahead, like and share, like and share. Thank y'all so much. I also just wanted to say this morning, thank you everybody that did go ahead and you've already subscribed to our YouTube channel, because we're putting all of the Freedom by Design content for our morning talks and our morning messages on YouTube. So we want to make sure that we can, reach more audiences and share with our friends. So if you haven't already, please share, please subscribe. And it is the Freedom by Design movement on YouTube. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Princess. Good morning. Good morning. It is a wonderful Wednesday. I'm excited this morning. This morning, as I lie in my bed and my alarm kept going off, hey, Tish, I was like, okay, Lord, which direction we going this morning? Because you gave me something last week that we didn't deal with yet. Are we ready for that? And he was like, nope, not yet. So when it comes, I guess that time will be the time for that. But this morning, our topic is the fire. So are you ready for the fire? Are you ready to walk into the fire? And I know y'all might be like, what? This girl got the fire sky in the back? Like, what is she talking about? So let's jump right into it. Guys, as we look at the news, and y'all know I'm not a real big news person. Hey, Bernadette. But as we're looking at the news in our world, not just our country, just our world, it's so much hatred, so much injustice, racism, gang violence, diseases. It's so much going on. And as I was looking at it last night, I'm walking past the TV, and over the past weekend, I'm constantly seeing fires. I'm seeing things burning, cars are burning, trash is burning, buildings are burning. And it sort of put me in the mind as I was thinking and meditating this morning. I was like, Lord, we're burning, but we're not consumed. We're burning, but we're not consumed, because we know that you are going to protect us. You're going to be with us. And, I was thinking, I said, you know what are we going to do? I hear voices that don't have the, I'll say the wisdom, and they're speaking, but they're not really saying anything. Then I hear those voices of hope and wisdom and faith as well, saying, you know what? It's gonna work out. And I'm like, we got to make sure that as a people, just in period, I'm not talking color or anything like that. As a people, we have to make sure that we impart and put that wisdom where it needs to go. And this morning I was like, okay, Lord, what is it that we want to talk about? What is it that you want me to say? And I know it's so many of us that are hurting. I know it's so many of us that feel like we're in situations like this is just not what it should be. Like, some people want to throw in the towel, but family, this morning, I'm here to tell you, we are not going to give up. We cannot give up. I'm like, Lord, what are we doing? He was like, y'all don't have to give up. You shouldn't give up. It's okay. Freedom is definitely within our grasp. And I'm like, but Lord, I see the fire. So what does that mean? And he said, okay, let me talk to you about fire on this morning. I said, okay. I opened up my Bible and I started reading and I started processing. And this morning, my study centered around the 3 Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So I was like, okay, now you're trying to be funny. You're talking about fire. I got you. And what I could hear them say is, the God we serve will deliver us, just like it says in Daniel 3:17. And for those who don't know the story, of course, there was King Nebuchadnezzar. He built a 90-foot image made of gold that he expected everybody to worship, a thing. Nothing that knows how we feel, nothing that can, not our God. It was a thing. It was an idol. It was an image. And the expectation was that when the music played, everybody would stop wherever they were and they would worship this 90-foot tall gold statue. And just for perspective, when you think of a 90-foot tall statue or anything, because it was massive, take 15 men and stack them on top of each other. So it was a big presence, but it was a statue. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't, why are we worshiping things instead of the creator? I'm not worshiping a creation. I'm worshiping the creator. And that was just the thought process of the three Hebrew boys. So what had happened is they worked for King Nebuchadnezzar, and there were some haters in the kingdom because they had good jobs, you know what I mean? And they were doing their thing, but they realized that what they saw when the music played, they did not stop. They did not worship this idol as everyone did. So they ran back and they told the king. And, the king brought them in and asked, was it a mistake? What's going on? And they were like, no, we don't apologize. We make no mistake, because everybody knew that the consequence was if you didn't worship this gold statue of sorts, then you would be thrown into the fiery fire of furnace. And they were like, no, it was no mistake. We're not going to do that. We're not worshiping this idol. We have our God, the creator. So it was like, okay, so we're just going to go ahead and you will be thrown into the fire. So are you sure? Good morning, Miss Humphrey. And they were like, yeah, we're sure. So what he did is he had them turn the furnace up even hotter than it normally was. And he said, you know what, throw them in as they are, fully clothed, everything. So now I want you to think about this, a fire, a furnace burning. And somebody is going to throw you in right as you are, with your clothes, with your everything. So, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, Lord, not with my hair. Don't put me in the fire, because this thing is going to melt. It's going to be real bad. But he had the soldiers take them to throw them in. And when the soldiers went to throw them in, the soldiers were actually burned up because it was that hot. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they went into the fire. But when the king looked, he said, didn't we put 3 men in there? And they said, yeah, because they were just in there kind of walking. He was like, but I see images of 4. And he didn't understand. And when he pulled them out, he realized that it was their God that was with them. It was our God with them, protecting them. And when they came out, they weren't burned, not one bit. They didn't smell of smoke or fire or anything. So I was like, you know what? That story, just thinking about it, it brought me back to our topic, a topic that I've been speaking on for a few segments now, and that has been purpose. What is it that we are called to do, and how will we do what we're called to do? Are we going to do it with boldness? Are we going to, be excited? Are we going to stay the course? Are we going to be courageous when we are called? And I thought about it and put it into like 3 questions. So my first one comes in, what is it that you are willing to give up? What is that thing that you are going to give it all up for? We say with our mouths that, Lord, use me. I'm available to you. I want you to use me. I want you to empty me out. Take all of me out and put all of you in. But when we are called, are you willing to really give it all up? And through this, I thought about the 3 Hebrew boys, but I also thought about Colin Kaepernick and how he selflessly stood, or should I say knelt, to give people a voice, to give a voice to people who didn't have one. And, in my faith journey, I discovered my purpose. It was a long journey. It was hard because, you know what? I thought my purpose was one thing and it ended up being another. I was moving in one direction, but, I realized that through a opportunity that came to me, God used that to allow me to see exactly what my purpose was. And this morning, family, I want to say we got to get to the deep roots. We got to get to our real why, our core reason for being. What is it that I'm willing to give it all up for? I know I'll give it all up for the Lord because he made me. But what is it that he wants me to do? And I'm willing to do it without end. Good morning, Ruth. Though the other thing is, where does our courage come from? I know where my courage comes from. Would you be willing to go against the king like those 3 Hebrew boys? Would you be willing to speak up in front of people that you normally would fear? Would you be willing to do the right thing, to say the right thing, or will you sit and will you just clam up, or will you allow fear, anxiety, and doubt in you? Guys, one thing that I have learned in life is that when we pursue our purpose, fear just it moves away. It has no place or space in our life. it just goes away, you know, because when you're walking on purpose, you have that passion, and that passion is what's going to drive you, and it's going to fuel you, and it's going to keep you going in the right direction. So, you know, I know that sometimes we're sitting here, we're trying to figure it out, but family, we are made for more. No matter what's going on, no matter what situation you find yourself in, don't waver. We are made to do the right thing. We are made to make sure that we're walking in a way that we can be proud. When I lay down every night, I know that I have given it my all. I've done everything that I was supposed to do, because when I wake up in the morning, I wake up with passion. I'm driven, I'm burning. And sometimes, every now and again, I do have my physical weakness, I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm tired, help me out. And I just have to take a little minute. I might go in my closet. I might talk to one of my accountability partners, and I get that oomph, and I'm back right at it. So what is it that is going, where's your courage coming from? The other thing is that our God is not going to change. So what he did for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, he will do for Trina, Rutho, Bernadette, Avril. He is going to do it for all of us. He is not going to leave us out. He's going to do it for Dee. He's going to do it for Nora. He's going to do it for my mom. He's going to do it for my husband. He's going to do it for Miss Humphrey. He's going to do it for all of us. So if he did it before, he'll do it again. Now it's time for us to make a decision. Are we going to obey? Are we going to do that thing that we're supposed to do? Are we going to walk in purpose? Are we going to be fueled by our passion? Are we going to make sure we're aligned with what he says he is, that what he wants us to do, vertically and then horizontally, vertically with him and then horizontally with the right people in our lives? You know, it doesn't matter what man or society says or people say. Remember, we are not worrying about the days and the thems. We're worrying about him. Guys, Colin Kaepernick said, I'm not looking for approval. I have to stand up for people that are oppressed. If they take football away, my endorsements from me, I know I stood up for what is right. Will you be able to say that in this season? Will you be able to say, you know what? I know that no matter what, I am going to stand up for right. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to let my voice be heard. I am going to allow my gifts to be used the appropriate way so that I can do the things that I'm supposed to do, the things that I've been called to do. And sometimes we struggle. It's like, what am I called to do? Get in that quiet place. I talked about that on Monday. Get in that quiet place so that you can hear, so that you'll know exactly what you've been called to do, what you're supposed to do right here, right now in this season. My last question, guys, that I said we have to ask ourselves is, what does that still voice inside of us say? What does our heart say? What does our heart say? Now, I know sometimes we have conversations with ourselves and our heart is saying one thing and our brain is saying another thing, but what does our heart say? Because our heart is the connection to our soul. It tells us, you know what, that's where that passion is fueled from. We know that we're going to make it happen. I'm going to get up, I'm going to go, and I'm going to stay committed, I'm going to stay focused. And keep in mind that no individual and no situation can bind us if we are free in him. So it doesn't matter about this situation and this time. We got to keep moving. We got to keep going on, because those situations, our fires, those are just our ways of him letting us know that I got you. It might look hot. It might feel hot. It might seem like it's unbearable or undoable, but I got you. The three Hebrew boys, they feared God more than they feared the fire. And Matthew 10:28 says, fear them not which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Guys, are you going to be a heartfelt leader? Are you going to be and leader takes different forms and fashions. When I think about Colin Kaepernick, when I think about the three Hebrew boys, they were heartfelt leaders. They were fearful of God, but guess what? Those three boys, they got the glory, and God got the glory in their freedom, and they were his witnesses, because when they came out of that fire, guess what King Nebuchadnezzar said? Nobody is to say anything or anything bad about the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, because he saw with his own eyes. Now, he was a witness to what our God can do. So because we have him, all we have to do is trust him. We don't have to worry about anything else. All of those fiery furnaces that we come in contact with, they're going to work to our advantage for his glory. So we don't have to worry about, oh my goodness, here comes the next storm. Here comes the next fire. Don't worry about it, because God got us. Like he did it for them, he's going to do it for us too. And I thought about this morning as I was reading and doing my studies, I looked at this quote from Bernard Baruch, and he says, be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. Guys, we have to walk according to our purpose. We have to do what's right for us. Whatever we've been called to do, we don't need to second guess it. We don't need to worry about it. Don't worry about the fires. Don't worry about those things that are going to come up. We're just going to have to go around them. Some fires we're going to have to walk through, and just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, we're going to come out and we're not going to be touched, bothered, or anything, because guess what? We know whose we are. We know who our protector is. And people will be wondering and like, oh my goodness, he or she went through that and they still moving, they still going, yeah, baby, because I know who's on the inside of me. I know who is walking ahead of me. I know who is covering me. I'm not worried. So we have to do that thing for our children too. We got to make sure that they are covered, because guess what? They are going to go through some fires. Some can be avoided, some cannot be avoided. But it's up to us to provide them with that wisdom to drop that knowledge so they'll know what's going on. And guys, the fortunate thing for us is that we know where the knowledge comes from. It's going to come from right here. So as long as we got the knowledge, we're able to get by and get through. Guys, this is a wonderful Wednesday. It's time for us to get out, be great, be the best versions of us. We're not trying to be anybody else. We're just being us. We're finding our purpose. We're walking in it with passion. We're doing what we need to do. And when we all come together, it's like pieces to a puzzle. Don't let anybody else plant or put fear into you. We were made for so much more. And on today, we're going to do that more. That's right. The blood has covered us. You better say it on this morning. Guys, I love each and every one of you. Again, I'm going to ask that you do follow Freedom by Design Movement on YouTube. Thank you for everybody who has subscribed. I greatly appreciate it, because we want to share the messages that we have with everybody, with as many people as we can. I'm excited about today. I want y'all also go to the website and check it out, www.freedombydesign1.com. And leave me a little message. Just let me know what you think. I thank each and every one of you. Good morning, Myrick. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for being on. Good morning, Michelle. Guys, I love you. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Remember, let's walk in our purpose and let our passion fuel it so we can do the things that we're supposed to do, not just for ourselves, but for those that are around us. Have a fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you on Freedom Friday. God bless you guys, and take care.